A 4-year-old girl slowly dying. A 7-year-old girl with no friends and no hope of a normal life. You'll meet them next in part 1 of our annual series on the Herbie Fund, which, through your donations, saves the lives of children from the third world. Soyam Tekele arrived at Sick Kids Hospital 2 years ago, near death. As a toddler, she had swallowed a coin, which caused a massive infection threatening her life. Yebsra Hilmarim, a victim of a birth defect so severe, she refuses to look into the mirror. The future meant death for one girl and a horrible life for the other, as well as grief and despair for their families. But that's not going to happen, thanks to you.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
How is Soyam?
It's fine.
You going to school?
Yes.
So Soyam walks to school every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a long walk.
15 minutes.
When we first met Soyam, she was near death. Her chronic, almost constant coughing made it very difficult for her to breathe. Her surgery has brought a dramatic change to her and her family. Soyam, look at you. Soyam is now a healthy and happy young girl. My goodness, look how big you are.
Hello, Canada.
We have some video of Soyam and you when you were in Toronto. Would you like to see it? Hello, Mama.
Soyam actually is a remarkable young girl because I can't believe how well she has done for so long. Because when you see the size of the hole, it's amazing she can eat.
Hello, ready?
Yeah.
When she was 3, Soyam swallowed a coin, which then burned a large hole in the wall between her esophagus and trachea. Her case came to the attention of the Herbie Fund from her home in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. You knew this little girl was in trouble. She couldn't get the surgical procedure she needed here. Am I right?
Yes.
So what did you do?
Then I look forward, how I can help her. This was X-ray taken immediately after she swallowed, and this was overlooked by the physician at that time.
Here it is, the coin that almost cost this little girl her life. She's a curious 2.5-year-old toddler, and as many will do, she swallowed the coin.
A year and a half later, she came with this X-ray. She was also in distress.
She was going to die.
She would have died definitely.
Yeah. That's when Dr. Milliard finds out about the Herbie Fund and connects the two. Her life is saved. And so how necessary is the Herbie Fund? How valuable is the Herbie Fund?
It makes a difference in each child's health and life. So giving a second chance for a child, especially a child who's going to live many years, is a big opportunity which Herbie Fund is giving for the kids.
Thank you.
Herbie Fund provides life-saving and life-altering surgical procedures for kids from all over the world. In most cases, they only require a single surgical procedure and they're sent back home. There are, however, those cases where multiple surgeries are called for. Such is the case with Yebsra from Ethiopia. She was born with a severe facial cleft and requires major craniofacial surgery. We caught up with Yebsra and her mom earlier this year when they returned to Toronto from Ethiopia.
Your attention, please.
We're here today to welcome Yebsra from Ethiopia, a 7-year-old girl who we supported to come to Toronto last year.
Can I take one of you two together?
Yebsra's cleft meant that the bones in her skull were split in two. An organization called Transforming Faces brought Yebsra to the attention of the Herbie Fund.
Although we help hundreds of children each year with cleft lip and palate, she has a particularly complex cleft that involved craniofacial surgery, and that was a surgery that wasn't possible back home in Ethiopia.
Ready?
Our first meeting with Yebsra happened last year at our City TV all-day Herbie fundraiser at Sick Kids Hospital.
Oh, that's a hard.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
I'm doing this.
How old are you?
6.
6 years old. You're beautiful. By April of last year, she had already undergone a major procedure which brought her eyes closer together. It was the first step in major reconstruction of her skull.
The family, they were so happy because, you know what, not only for the beautiness, they are very amazed that she's alive.
Their Canadian host family are happy to see them return and have planned a dinner at the Ethiopian House restaurant. Host Jeannie Mott recalls Yebsra's life before her first surgery.
Initially, when she first came, one of the things I noticed is her eyes were offset. They were offset to the side. And she couldn't see with both eyes at the same time.
How do you know each other? Well, when I was volunteering with my mom, you and I met, remember, at the hospital.
We'll take a picture of the camera.
Yebsra shows promise as a reporter and camera operator.
I thank Herbie Fund for doing this. Changes her whole life. And by her life, all of our lives, all of us who are involved with this.
Part 2 tomorrow night, another major surgical procedure for Yebsra. And you'll also meet 2 kids from Mongolia whose families spent every waking moment knowing that unless there was a miracle, their children were going to die. But not anymore. That miracle is your donations to the Herbie Fund. A reminder, our all-day Herbie fundraiser is this Friday in Dundas Square. Please come down, meet some of the kids, and if you can, make a donation to the Herbie Fund. You'll find all the information on our website, citynews.ca.